Crayone a ter prepare.
Hey guys, how's it going? I don't really have a script for this video. I'm just gonna be speaking from the heart. Wait, my heart's right here. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about the micro chest rigs. What's the concept of a micro chest rig? Why you think you would need a micro chest rig? Is a micro chest rig even right for you? So to start off with, we're gonna talk about what I said first. What is a micro chest rig? Uh, a micro rig, or sometimes people call them micro rigs too, is essentially what a chest rig would be if it were scaled down to a smaller scale. Some of them even get smaller than this. Like this one's a bit built out. I got expander wings for it, but usually they come like this, where there's just 3 mag ports or 3 mag pouches, whatever you want to call it. Speed mag, I don't know. There's different words for it. Sometimes they don't even have this pouch. This pouch has been built into it, so I can't really take it off even if I wanted to. Probably could, but probably would lose its structural integrity. Just like how my life is losing its structural integrity. You could put 2 pistol mags, or if you wanted to, you could put 1 pistol mag right here and a flashlight right here. I think I don't have to tell you, obviously, if you're going to put a pistol mag, put it on your reload side. Don't put a pistol mag right here because it's going to be kind of awkward to reload from here. But, pistol mag right here, flashlight right here if you need it, or you could have them both be pistol mags. Then I got the expander wings I want to talk about. These are just basically elastic. Nothing special. It's definitely not going to be very versatile in a woodland environment, but it'll hold up in a suburban environment or urban environment. And reloads are pretty easy with it. Comes out. In case anybody doesn't know, these are obviously airsoft mags. We're using an airsoft gun today for demonstration purposes. Sorry, that was probably loud. Reindexing. If anybody doesn't know what I mean by reindexing essentially just means when you return a mag to its pouch. It's a little different from putting your mag inside a dump pouch. Of course, I don't have a dump pouch right now. But yeah, only problem, like I said, reindexing or returning the mag to the mag pouch on this is a little bit tricky, so that's the only downside to having these elastic pouches. But I mean, you could just put it in your pocket right here. That serves as a dump pouch, I guess. These are a little bit easier to reindex since there's an actual Kydex insert in here. Yeah, easier to reindex. So that's the only downside to this, is that you do expand the amount of mags you can carry, but downside is that you're not really going to be able to reindex with these. But, yeah. So, like I said, micro chest rigs, more scaled down, definitely a lot smaller than your traditional military chest rig. What is the purpose of this? I would say the purpose of this is mainly for training, or if you're just an airsofter and you just want something to just hold your mags in and you're not really going to be too serious with it, then a micro chest rig would also be good for you. If you don't know if you necessarily want, wow, it's windy. If you don't know exactly if you want a micro chest rig, because they do get pretty expensive. I'm pretty sure online they typically go for like 200 to 300. Let's put something on the screen right there or something so you can get an idea of how expensive it gets. So yeah, maybe you don't want to drop like 200 or 300 for a rig that you might not even like. That's the only problem with these micro chest rigs, is that sometimes people spend ridiculous amounts of money on them and then they realize that, wow, it is really windy. Lots of people waste tons of money on a micro chest rig and they realize that oh shoot, this isn't exactly what I wanted. It doesn't really hold a lot of stuff. I can't really hold a lot of mags in it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get big. Well, actually, you can get bigger expander wings than this. I'm pretty sure they get even bigger than this. It's just that I'm using cheap Chinesium gears, so I might not be having a lot of options here, like I said. This is basically a clone. It's a clone of an official micro chest rig. Um, and I think that getting the clones would be better if you're still deciding if you even want to use it. Because here's the thing, yeah, sure, if you buy the cheap Chinese made gear, uh, you may say, oh well, what if it doesn't last me that long? Trust me, they last quite a bit, even if, like, let's be honest, most people are probably going to be using them for airsoft anyways if you're buying Chinese gear. But you could even use this for like real steel use, take it to the gun range or at an outdoor range. It'll be fun. Trust me, I don't think it's gonna fall apart within a couple of days. It should last, unless you're like, I don't know, tugging on it and like throwing it around or something. Maybe a buckle will break, but I don't know, just don't toss the gear, I guess. But yeah, it's gonna last. It should ideally last you 2 to 3 years. I know someone who had one of these cheap Chinese chest rigs for like 4 years, and the thing was still holding up fine, and you could tell that it was beat up. The Velcro up here was definitely like very fuzzy and like falling apart, but it still held mags. It still did everything it was supposed to, so they do hold up quite a bit. So, buy this cheap version, and then if you really do decide that you like the limitations of a micro rig, then I guess you go ahead and buy like the more expensive option. And you have this extra Chinese gear as a loaner to someone. And yeah, I spray painted this one because I didn't really like that's another thing too with a lot of this like Chinese made gear, is that the nylon is typically a much brighter color, as you can tell like when you get it. I'll show one on the screen maybe just to show you guys what it typically looks like. So if you want to make it a little bit less bright, you could always get rattle spray paint it, rattle can it, I don't know what people say online, but all right, so here I got the more upscaled micro chest rig I was telling you guys about. So for this one, on the expander wings, you can hold 2 mags on each side, so for total got 4 plus 3, that's 7 mags right there. If you want to, if you're wondering why these stick out a bit more, it's because I actually have like a foam padding underneath, so this is kind of more meant for a radio instead. That's why the foam padding is there. But if you wanted to, it doesn't have to be for a radio. Like what I did here for demonstration, you could just add more mags if you're not using a radio. It's pretty much the same. It is the same thing as the other one. It's just that this one happens to be gray. Like my life. Only downside to this is that the way the expander wing works is that it actually connects to this right here on the expander wing. So I would prefer to do it that way. I had to tape these buckles right here because they're kind of just like flapping around. I'm probably just gonna like break the buckle off later and replace it with interchangeable buckles instead. That way I don't have these buckles that are just taped, because it kind of looks weird like that. But I just taped it up like that for now, but we'll remove that in the future. And another thing to a more expanded micro rig is that you can also put dangler pouches on these things, and you can fit quite a bit. I just shoved in a bandolier inside of that thing just to show that it can fit quite a bit. It could fit a lot more than that too. We'll talk about that bandolier later. But yeah, you can use this as a miscellaneous pouch. You could even turn it into an IFAC pouch. This one's pretty cheap. It's definitely a Chinesium. This whole thing is also a Chinesium setup too. So yeah, and yeah, this is basically a more upscaled version of a micro rig. All right, so we've already gone over those 2 affordable options over there, and if you're still like so dirt poor that you can't afford that, then don't worry, we got something for the really dirt poors. I'm just kidding, you're not poor, you're just
financially challenged. If you really can't afford that, we got this option right here too. Bandoliers. So typically bandoliers that are meant to hold ARs, they typically go for the price range of $5 to $15. Only downside to these types of bandoliers is that they typically can only hold GI mags or GI style mags. When it comes to putting polymer mags, they're definitely, it's kind of hard to close the buckle on there. But with GI mags, you can fit 6 of them in total here. Yeah, see, got 6 right there. If you do want to try using with P-mags, there's this trick that you can do that I learned when I was in the Marine Corps. You can wet your mag pouch. Oh, because at the time we were still getting issued the Eagle Industry mag pouches, and at that time they were more in tune with being used with GI style mags, and you know they also had like a really tight fit to them. So to loosen them up, we we were getting like P mags at the time. We were still using like older Eagle Industry mag pouches, and then we were getting P mags, and getting the P mags, and there was like a way tighter fit. But to essentially expand those Eagle Industry mag pouches, we'd wet them and shove like 2 P mags in there overnight and let it dry out. And essentially what they would do is, you know, stretch her out, like stretch out the mag pouch. Yeah.
Show all my friends online.
How cool I look. They don't see how vulnerable I am. All right, okay, I'm ready. All right, guys, so this is what happens when you max out your points. This is a more upscale chest rig. Now, this is what we call a fucking chest rig right here. Not a silly little micro rig like the ones we got over there. Well, micro rig and the bandolier right there. So those are fine. I do like them, and they do have their purpose, but I like this better because there's a lot more sustainability in this, and a lot more in general. Like I literally have 8 mags right here. Each mag pouch right here can hold a total of 2, so a total of 8. So definitely have a lot more ammo. I have a separate pouch that's dedicated for a radio. I'm using courtesy of Xi Jinping Baofeng UV5R radio right here. I got an extended battery for it, and I forget what it is called, but it's like a cage to protect it. That way you don't accidentally like set it off or whatever, and you know, you don't want certain people finding you when you're giving off a signal. But yeah, that's what that's for. And I also, stupid fucking buckle. Then I have this pouch right here. This is basically just a makeshift pouch for a tourniquet. I don't have a tourniquet in there right now because you know, I've been working out pretty much a good amount. I'm pretty sure I could take on a few rounds to the chest, and I don't think I would need well, I mean, you wouldn't use a tourniquet for the chest anyways. And right here, I got an IFAK. Still gotta fill that out because I have that in my actual plate carrier right now. Like, this is something I'm still building out. That's another thing too. I'm gonna make a video about that. Medical equipment and building out IFAKs. Unfortunately, we can't cheap out on that, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think you guys should cheap out on your medical gear. But yeah, I'll make a video about that too in the future. And then right here, we have a dump pouch. Don't know what fucking brand it's from. I forget. And ow, this has those spiky things from the last time I used it. It's those spiky plants on it, but yeah. But this is just essentially a dump pouch that we can expand quite a bit. But yeah, that's what that's for. Or I don't even have to use it as a dump pouch. I could also use to hold other shit in there, like, you know, snackies and stuff, and I don't know, tampons, I guess, if you need that. Cause yeah, and there's also a pouch right here too. Oh, another cool thing about this, this isn't an actual Rhodesian chest rig, but you're gonna notice that it's got a lot of similarities to the Rhodesian chest rig. Is that you can actually lower this chest rig down a bit more, and the reason why you will want to lower it down more is because you can expand it and actually put a plate in this thing, which is pretty fucking cool if you ask me. You could put a fucking plate in this thing. How is that not fucking cool?
Very cool.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna use that because I don't need fucking body armor because I'm built different. I could take on 7.62. I could take on 5.56. I could take on 9mm. Yeah, because I'm built different like that. I just wanted to show you guys this. I'll make a separate video where I go more in depth about this chest rig because I think this little shtick I'm doing doesn't do it enough justice. This is a really cool chest rig setup. They are pretty expensive though, not because of like the quality, because this thing's pretty outdated, sadly, for the modern era. But it is a cool piece of surplus gear. There's cheaper options. This one is a bit more expensive, and if you're trying to save money, I would not buy it. Only reason I own it is because it's a little bit more accustomed to the gear that I used while I was in the Marine Corps, and you know, I like these setup. I even still have a tapped chest rig from the Marine Corps that I never turned into SIF because I don't know, they didn't ask for it. I'm like, well, they didn't ask for it, so I guess I can keep it, right? I don't know. Hopefully they don't call me asking for it back or whatever, but because I really like that thing. But I'll show you guys the tapped chest rig in another video too. And yeah, that's basically the end of this video. See you guys. Oh fuck. No, it was on the whole time, damn it.